Hi, Fabio. Let's take a look at your newest set of essays. You've got a letter here. Let's see what you wrote. Dear John, it's been ages since the last time we spoke. I have some great news and I'd like to share it with you. I've resigned from my previous job and I currently have a better one. All right, I love it, but just those little grammar things, okay? As you may know, I was not happy working there anymore. My routine had been annoying as my tasks were the same every day. Word order here. So first you say they are the same and then you say when every day. I felt disappointed and I couldn't see any growth perspective. I have decided not I have, but it's I decided. Why? Because we already know that this is in the past. We know that you resigned and we know that you have a new job now. So we know that this is in the past. So it should be, I decided not to tolerate this situation and asked to resign. Not to be resigned, okay? It has to be active voice. This was my best decision in ages. I applied for an open position as a senior accountant manager at a world-famous startup called Spotify, and I was hired within 2 weeks. As you can see, I'm very enthusiastic and animated. You don't need this. We don't use animated like this, and I think the word enthusiastic covers everything you want to say. If you want to say optimistic, you could. So you could say, I'm very enthusiastic and optimistic about my new achievement. The work environment is totally different, open-minded and friendly. I would say that it is my dream job without the T. On top of that, my personal life is like a skyrocket. All right, that's a little strange. We don't say that. You could say my personal life is going great. My personal life is going smoothly. You could say any of those things. I have been dating Sarah for 2 years, and we are considering living together and moving to a bigger flat. Besides, I will propose to her in 2 months. I'm very excited. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Best regards. Okay. I like this. I think in terms of task achievement, you did great. I think your organization was fantastic. So I liked task achievement. I liked coherence and cohesion. All those things were done really well. There were a couple of mistakes with vocabulary, and there were some mistakes with grammar. Those mistakes would probably keep this from getting a very high scoring score, okay? Because the mistakes were consistent enough that you can't say, that the vast majority of the sentences were correct. So keep that in mind. And now I want to go to your task 2. All right, now let's see what you have to say about the advantages and disadvantages of traveling. Experts throughout the world have been debating over the benefits and drawbacks of journeys. This essay will explore some gains and pains in such travel periods, using examples from the Brazilian government and Unicamp University to demonstrate points and prove arguments. Okay, let's see. First of all, I didn't really love the word journeys. It just doesn't really feel natural, okay? You could have honestly just used the word travel, and it's fine. If you wanted to be more specific, you could have said the benefits and drawbacks of in-country and foreign travel. Okay, you could have said something like that too. But journeys just sounds a little strange. Okay, and then this is a nice attempt. I like it. Pains and gains. It does sound a little informal though. Now, of course, you don't need to use strict, completely academic language, but it did feel a little strange in this context nonetheless, okay? So I would have just changed it, just stick to more kind of standard essay language with something like this essay will explore benefits and drawbacks. That's all you really need to say, okay? There's no need to really, reinvent the wheel, as we say. All right, let's see. On the one hand, there are several reasons to make a travel unpleasant. All right, here we've got some grammar problems. So let's take a look at those. We don't say a travel, first of all, okay? You could have just said, there are several reasons which may make travel unpleasant. Now, I want to talk to you about this though. Travel being unpleasant doesn't mean that travel as a whole has disadvantages. Okay? It's not necessarily the same thing. So let's say you decide to take a week-long trip to a historical place in your country. What are some disadvantages of that thing? Or what if you decide to take a 2-week long trip to a beautiful remote tropical island somewhere very far away? What are some of the disadvantages of this? Disadvantages in a more holistic sense. That's what I mean here, Fabio. So not unpleasant, which is just like a minor inconvenience, but what makes these things disadvantageous? That's what I really want you to be looking at, okay? I hope the difference is clear. I hope you understand what it is we mean here. All right, let's see. So if I wanted to reword this a little bit, I would say something like this. On the one hand, there are several reasons, no, not reasons. There are several factors um, that create disadvantages of, I don't know. I feel like that's a little clumsy as well. It's not really a sentence that flows nicely. Maybe we can say something different. On the one hand, there are several disadvantages to travel. That's all. Okay? Or of travel, you could say as well. Firstly, during a holiday season, let's try this one more time. During the holiday season, there is heavy traffic on the roads. Someone's expectation is frustrated during long waiting hours in line. What do you mean here in lane? In the traffic in the highway lane? I'm confused, but we don't really say this expression. Someone's expectations may be frustrated while waiting a long time on the road. Maybe something like that. For instance, during last Independence Day, people from Curitiba took 12 long hours to complete a journey of 300 kilometers heading southeast to the coast. Okay. Secondly, there are frequently lengthy delays when picking up a flight. When taking a flight, this can happen due to severe weather conditions or an unplanned strike of an air company's workers. These situations can be frustrating because of long waiting hours without notice in airport because long waiting hours without notice in an airport lobby, making it an arduous journey. For example, a recent study from the Brazilian government demonstrated that waiting more than 3 hours for a flight influences people's, I would say, mood here and impacts with an S their traveling experience. Okay. In general, I think you did a really good job of developing this. Okay. I think as far as task achievement is concerned, you did a really nice job. One thing that I want to talk to you about is the way you framed this. So you could see from the beginning of the paragraph, I didn't really agree with this. This is not a reasons and solutions essay where you want to be talking about the reasons. What we want is we want to know what are the disadvantages of travel. So I wouldn't have started out. I already told you this. But I'm going to say it again. So you're not really talking about the reasons for unpleasant travel. I think what you really should have said here is, on the one hand, travel comes with numerous disadvantages. And then, rather than saying this, look at what I would have said. One such instead of this, I would have said is one such disadvantage is all the unexpected delays that come with travel, whether domestic or international. Okay? And then you could say, for example, during last Independence Day, etc., 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 and then you can talk about this. So the unexpected, okay, and you know what? You can be even broader. You could say the unexpected is a disadvantage of travel. Because there are some people who like to plan, or there are some people who, want everything to go smoothly. And with travel, you just have to know that there are going to be some unexpected things happening. And that's a disadvantage, or it could be. So if you had made it a little more general, then you could really say that this is a disadvantage. All right. So I like it. And then it makes the rest of the paragraph make sense. Does that make sense? I hope it does. I'm not really sure if I'm making sense, but I hope so. All right. And then, of course, a lot of the grammar. Again, missing S's, missing things, wrong things. I want you to be a little more careful and work on some of the accuracy, okay? All right, let's keep going here. On the other hand, not only do visitors wait for the traveling day, but, all right, this doesn't work grammatically. But also it involves several health benefits for them. I love that you try to use inversion. Inversion is probably one of my favorite advanced grammatical structures. If people actually have a favorite advanced grammatical structure, well, if people did, that would be mine. So I like that you tried to do it correctly, but the sentence doesn't totally make sense. So on the other hand, this is what we'll do. Not only do visitors wait for the traveling day, but they also gain health benefits from travel. That makes sense, okay? So not only, but also. It makes sense if you say not only do visitors, but they also. So you're talking about the same person, same thing. Creating a sense of adventure is a fresh renewal of energy, and you just have to say invigorates someone's will to tackle daily issues. Visiting a new place sounds interesting, and enjoying some time off creates extra motivation to do sightseeing, get rid of the A, or creates extra motivation to sightsee or get to know. Okay? Wait, to sightsee or get to know the local food. Yeah, that works better. For example, one study conducted by UNICAMP University showed that psychological problems decreased in individuals who had taken at least one vacation per year to an unknown destination. On top of that, there are other benefits like learning a new language or culture. Experiencing a different environment will expand someone's ability to broaden their perspectives. All right, maybe you could have said a little bit more about that. This feels a little vague. I'm wondering maybe you could have said something else here too. They learn new cultures, they learn new mentalities, and so this benefits people because it allows them to look at the world in a different way. So, okay. In conclusion, planning a trip is essential to collect the benefits of such choices. It is advised to be mentally prepared for any inconvenience that might bother on one's journeys. Despite that, get rid of that of, we only use of within spite, not with despite. So despite that, the advantages of enjoying some time in a different place will only contribute to building, because we say contribute to plus ing, a better individual. All right, so I liked a lot of this, Fabio. I think a lot of it was really nicely developed, but I think there was some stuff that still needed a little fixing. All right, just kind of smoothing out some of the edges here. We should have another essay from you, shouldn't we? I believe we do. So I'll be waiting for it, and lots of luck.